And hi, guys. Good evening. We are back. Yeah. So this is the kind of the roundup of what's happened with Richard Allen since we last talked. And I guess spoiler alert, it's nothing good. Overall, you're not going to come away from this thinking, oh, this is going to turn out okay. I wish I could tell you that was the case, but right now, no, that's not happening. This is Diddy level late. Hey, Mr. Medicare was still going, and I didn't want to leave till he was done. So I had to wait till Mr. Medicare finished. And he literally just finished. So my apologies, chat, but you gotta let the greats do their thing. The Shugi show saying a few years ago I'd have been like, yay, they caught the guy. But now I'm like, I immediately question everything. That's not a bad thing to have. Nothing wrong with questioning what's out there now. So, yes, I'm boofing ketamine, yes. Is it ever anything good? Well, you'd like to hope it is sometimes. But sometimes it gives you stuff that's promising. Yeah, somebody got me that shout out for Jim. That was great. That was very nice. So, I always let them finish. Oh. Who are the people you stream sniped a few weeks ago? Who did I stream snipe a few weeks ago? That doesn't help me. So I need a little more. I need like a description unclear. So does not help me at all. But yes, that was Jim being super, super aggro to everybody. Wait, what are you guys muted? I am not muted. Nice try. Oh, Kino Casino? Oh, okay, yeah, if that's who. Oh, yeah. No, you thought that was Medicare? No, 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 no. PPP and Andy Worski. Yeah, the fat guy like me. And they sound like Canadians because they're Canadians. Yes, that's Kino Casino. That is not Jim. So, yes, PPP. Whoa, whoa, $50, Master Medicare Masochist. Let's go. All right, guys, we're going to get started. It's time. Let's take a look at what we have going on. So, I guess we'll start off with Richard Allen had his case over in Indiana, and they had the big motions hearing for sanctions and also the motions to compel discovery on March 18th. And in the lead up to that, all kinds of goofy stuff happened. And we covered everything pretty much up to that point. So, what did we get from there? Well, the judge did release some things, and well, the internet being the internet showed up to court, and that caused its own set of problems. So let's just start with that. So here is what happened, and we're just going to skip to. What happened with one of the YouTubers who showed up trying to be part of the true crime world. You missed the motion to continue. There's a lot there. We're going to get to all of that, okay? So, if you guys so the hearing was set on the 18th, okay? On the 18th there were a lot of motions to continue. I think we talked about last time the motions to continue with all the geofencing data and all the things that have been dropped off to them. Well, there's all kinds of crap that the defense still doesn't know about. Well, we go back to the 20th. And there's an order, and here's the cringe part, guys. Here's the cringe part. So, This is the problem. Judge Gold does this stuff. She does orders on the docket, no paper entries, half the time, which is a shitty way of doing it. So she set, rules and procedures to be in court, and that's normal. The courthouse remained open at all times. And she said, here's how it's going to work. Courthouse will open at 8. All the entrances are closed except for the entrance on the east side of the building. The remaining entrances will be locked with no access to the public. All members of the public, including media, are subject to metal detector screenings. And you are expected to, no electronic devices, including watches, are permitted in the building. Media personnel are allowed to attend the court session, but no cameras. No electronics, laptops, or recording equipment of any kind is permitted in the Allen County Courthouse. And she's the presiding judge, so she can set all of this. So yes, Richard Allen's hearing was conducted with no electronics allowed. Yes, so this woman is already, shooting the moon for being professional. Absolutely being professional. Nothing like that level of transparency there. So on the 20th, and this is 2 days later, she said that any violation of this order and conduct the court finds disruptive of the proceedings is punishable as direct contempt of court and will result in a term of imprisonment and permanent exclusion from the courtroom, the courthouse, and all future proceedings. So, members of the public are ordered to conduct themselves in such a fashion as to limit disruption to the offices of personnel and patrons of everybody going in. And, hey, that's a shame. Are you, if you could, I need to shoot you an email real quick, because I had a question about, something, but that's okay. I think we got enough stuff to work with here tonight. So we got enough documents as is. See, I thought I sent you an email earlier, but didn't go out, so my bad. I scrounged up a bunch, though. So the court recessed the morning hearing of this at noon. The court observed a member of the gallery, later identified as Richard Snay, who is a YouTuber, becoming somewhat animated and vocal with court security, who admonished him to sit down. At 12:10, court security observed David and Snay and David Noe engaged in a conversation on the first floor that ultimately became heated. Court security advised them to be civil and leave the building. They were both removed, and they observed a verbal altercation on the sidewalk and the surrounding areas of the courthouse. The court finds that these two guys are to be in violation of the decorum order, and they're permanently excluded from all future hearings in this case. So yeah, some YouTubers got big mad, and regardless of how much Delphi you do, there's always more. Yeah, I know, that's a thing. I could do it all today, and there's 35 more filings tomorrow. So, yeah, so these YouTubers got into a fight. I get you have you're fired up about this, but guys, you can't, this is just nonsense. And Luke is saying it's not like she writes anything long enough to warrant a paper order. Yeah, and that's the pathetic thing, though. She should be. But anyways, Richard Snay, yes, got tossed. And I forget what YouTube channel he has. Because yeah. He's, he's Delphi After Dark is his name. So, let's actually, I want to see if he's got a, let's see if he's got any updates from this, because I'm curious to see if he commented on it. Let me see here if he... So, yes, he, So he does have a channel, guys, and this is it right here. I'll share it with you real quick if you want to. Delphi After Dark. You know, he got mad. He's like, "Can I put her under oath? She lied about me." It's like, did she? You know, it's really hard for them just to pick on a random guy. So yes, he got nuked out of the courtroom, which, you know, don't tip cows, don't interact like that, don't cause problems in a court hearing. You're not helping anybody, especially not Richard Allen. Because now this just encourages Judge Gold to act like a complete bigger asshole. You don't help anyone. Yeah, he made a statement. Yeah, it's at least your minute entries make it clearer to keep up. Well, it does, but so yes, the crime Karens fighting each other who's queen of the cringe. Yes. Yes. I mean, it's pretty much what's happening there. But anyways, that's a shame. How you doing? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Congrats again. Hope you got caught up on your sleep from your trial you got to avoid with your smoking hot plea deal that you secured for your client. Good job on that. But yes, it's just all stupid. Guys, don't do this crap. You cause so many fucking problems for people. You know, people are trying to do their job. Like, you know, Baldwin's trying to do his job. Rosie's trying to do his job. And then you guys start spurging out in the back. That doesn't help anything. That gives him ammunition and it gives her ammunition. So the 18th, we learned there were no cameras allowed. And then we learned further that, well, other stuff has been introduced. And the court received an order on the 22nd from various news reporters to film the trial on May 13th through May 31st. And it denied them. So there will be no cameras available. Oh, I know. That's why I'm saying I didn't say they were trying to do their job. I'm saying you're helping them. But yes, they are going to deny access to this trial. And once again, I assume on the eve of trial, she's going to say no electronic devices either. You know, probably except for her vibrator that's tied to her bad dragon that's shoved through her chair. It's the only other thing she's going to allow in. But yes, there is no media coverage allowed to be there. And we're going to get to that, Luke. Don't you worry. We're going to get to that. It's funny because she has said, well, you can't, you can't be here for trial. That's not fair. Wobble, 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 wobble. Okay. Fair enough, honey, Judge Honey. But looks like there's a bit of an issue here, though, Judge Gull.
Tonight, we're getting new details about the trial coming up in May for the Delphi murders.
Judge Frances Gall tells us how much time she wants for jury selection and for the trial. So Bob Siegel tonight breaks down the details.
We already know the Delphi murders trial.
I haven't heard, we get to hear her talk. We get to hear the turkey gobble.
Set to begin May 13th. Judge Frances Gall set the trial date a few weeks ago. But this week, 13 News had a chance to meet directly with the judge, and she provided additional details about the upcoming trial for Richard Allen. Gall told 13 News she plans on jury selection taking approximately 3 days in Fort Wayne. The jury would then be sworn in on the 4th day, and opening statements would then take place on day 5. That means the actual trial would start on Friday, May 17th. Judge Gall confirmed the Delphi murders trial will take place at the Carroll County Courthouse 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday, if there are no religious objections by any of the jurors. And
there's still a problem. This is frickin' Memorial Day. Right here. This is Memorial Day weekend. How many people are just going to piss off their Memorial Day weekend and piss it away? Like, this is a horrible day to plan. Like, you're going to do a trial over a closed court holiday? Like, how do you do that? You're not going to get a lot of jurors to want to stick around for that. You're going to make this intentionally hard. But that's been Judge Gall's name of the game, is to make this an absolute dumpster fire. But I mean, like, who's going to be there? Who's going to be there? People aren't going to be here this day. They might not even be here that day. I mean, because, yeah, like, you know, we kind of made the joke last time, but there's people, like, getting this set of days off, plus this day off. People, like, have 4 or 5 day weekends coming up. It just... And she's talking to the press. Did she inform the party she's talking to the press? Because that's a big problem. She shouldn't be talking to the goddamn press. She shouldn't even do it for any reason in particular. Why is she talking to the press?
The jury will hear testimony from roughly 9 till 5 each day. The Carroll County Courthouse closes at noon on Wednesdays, but the judge plans to keep the trial going on Wednesdays right through the end of the day. Judge Gall expects the trial to be complete by May 31st. So far, she has not approved.
That is an old school courthouse, chat. Wow, I like that. That's an old school courthouse. You could find a couple of these down in southern Ohio, well, in rural Ohio. Not just southern Ohio, but western Ohio. You could find some old school. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Any cameras in the courtroom. Keep in mind, both the judge and the jury will be from Allen County, and they'll be transported 100 miles to Delphi for the trial. The jurors will be sequestered the entire time. Arrangements have already been made for them to stay in a hotel close to Delphi. 13 News has confirmed the Allen County clerk has sent jury questionnaires to 600 Allen County residents. The jury will be chosen from among those 600 people in what's one of the most high-profile murder trials in state history. In case you're wondering, each juror will receive $80 a day for the first 5 days of the trial. After that, they'll get $90 a day. Those rates are set in state law. I'm Bob Siegel, 13 News.
We have been...
Why are you talking to the fucking jury? Why are you talking to the jury? It's the court from the 1919 World Series trial, yeah. Is the court zooming? No. Nope. 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 Guys, no. 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 You know, just like Bohemian Rhapsody. No. 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 There's going to be no media coverage at all. No cameras at all in that courtroom. No media coverage. Have those books ever been used? A long time ago. A long time ago, but not recently. So. That's a federal holiday weekend. She's breaking the law here. Well, that's, I mean, she can have the courthouse open those days. But you're going to ask people, yeah, people are not going to want to do 6-day-a-week things and miss, you know, a lot of people are not, I don't think 600 people is going to be enough. I don't think 600 jurors is going to be enough. That's going to piss off the clerks hard. It's going to piss off a lot of people. But she seems to be like an idiot. I don't think she understands. Those chairs are uncomfortable. They can be, but it's still cool to go in those courthouses. Does the court staff go golfing on Wednesdays? I don't know, but here's the thing, Stacy. Delphi County or Carroll County, Indiana is a rural county. I mean, that's still not a. That's not like weird. It's got a population of 26,000 people. That's how many people are there. If that was in Ohio, they're in the bottom like 10 or so counties of population-wise. And I'm assuming that's got to be pretty sparsely populated for... Oh, actually, hold on, wait. Carroll County, Ohio. No, I went Indiana. Sorry, what's Carroll County, Indiana's population? Carroll County, Indiana's population is... Oh, it's even smaller. Carroll County, Indiana's population, guys, is 20,000 people. This would be one of the smaller populated counties in Ohio. That's really sparse. It's a agricultural community. So on Wednesdays it closes early. They've probably been doing that for 100 and some years because they don't have that much going on. There's no need for it to go on. They don't need this. That's probably a one-judge courthouse. They might have like a probate judge, a domestic relations judge, and a juvenile judge, but the judge who handles like felony cases and civil suits, it's probably one guy. It's going to be a very, very sparsely. It's going to be a sparse area. I mean, it's not pop. I mean, you know, it's big. It's 375 square miles, and its whole population is 20,000. Its density is 54 people per square mile. Let's see here. Okay. The population of counties in Indiana. So we're going to have to scroll all the way down. Carroll County is... let's see here. Oh, wow, there's some really small counties in Indiana. Holy shit. But, like, we're scrolling down the list here, guys. There's a couple of counties that are super small. Like Carroll County, it's look like this is the scrolling bar for the county populations in the state of Indiana, and we're right here. That's not a lot. And I mean, there are, you know, it doesn't take much from there to keep scrolling down. This is not a, yeah. One scroll in the mouse, and that's still crazy, though. 6,000 people in some of these counties. Oh, you guys have little itty-bitty baby counties, but like this county, Martin County, Indiana, goddamn, 9,000 people? That's fucking small. That's smaller than what you can have in Ohio, the smallest county. So, yeah, that's sequestered Memorial Day weekend. Yeah, Yep, people are going to say, fuck that shit. A lot of people are going to say, fuck that shit. The hotel's the Econo Lodge, yeah. Not to be a dick, but Sean could fit one of those seats. I know I couldn't. I used to be able to. Not sure I want to sit in it because it might break anyway. The bitch doesn't want her fuck up live stream. Pretty much. I mean, that's probably the real reason why. It's also state court, not a federal court. Yeah, but even federal courts could stay open over Memorial Day. There wouldn't be an issue. Like, if the judge determined it had to happen, the judges have control over their courthouses. So that's not a problem. That's not a problem for what Judge Gull wants to do. They expect people who really want to get on the jury. That's the scary part about this. This is going to be people who really want to be on this. You know, that are going to want to fucking convict Richard Allen. I mean, hopefully you get a couple people who are fucking fanatics for Richard Allen to try to, you know, hang this or acquit him, but it's going to be dangerous. If the jury's sequestered, why no cameras? Because there's no right to have your case televised. The judge is going to say no because it turns into a circus. I don't like it. Now, the reality of the answer is because she doesn't want everybody to see her being a fucking idiot and a fucking moron and a fucking tyrant. But she has the right to do that. That is her right as the judge. She's in charge of the courtroom. That courtroom is her realm. And she is allowed to enforce things in her realm as she sees fit. So that's entirely up to her what's going to happen. But yes, I'm just wondering, like, because they're going to have to transport these people, and if it's any longer than an hour away, I don't know that area, how rural it is, but what's, like, the nearest hotel that's not just some, like, shitty Motel 6? Or that's, like, the heroin, like, because, like, one of the towns I was in, if you tried to use, like, the local motor, like, it was still called the blank motor lot, the one place that was nearby was, like, the Urbana Motor Lodge. It's, like, it's where a lot of people went to go OD. So they went to go shoot up heroin and then overdose because you come in in the morning, like, and the cops, you know, one of the detectives come in like, oh yeah, hey, we had an OD last night, and oh, where was it at the Motor Lodge? Like, there's not really a whole lot of hotels, and All the other ones are just like, ooh, you don't want to go to those. So, there's just, this is not good. It's not going to end well. Shiats. It is not going to end well. So, they should court at midnight to make it even more spicy, yeah. But no, just because she doesn't want people in court. That's it. That's because I said so. Because I'm the judge. I declare it. But yeah, thank you for the question. 600 is not going to be enough. Yes. Read the next chat. Did I not? What? So. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a more pro-defense crowd. Certainly, that's going to be. But she, but she could also close down. She could also kick people out of the courtroom too, and have court security do that. So they are sequestered, so they can't go on holiday anyway. Might as well go 6 days a week. Yeah, but that's sequestering a jury is a big deal. People, that's, you're really causing problems there. Yeah, rural means farmers and animals to care for. Yep, exactly. My farm bros would skip this. Yeah, I know, because it's getting into planning. It's planning season. It's getting the farm ready for the summer. Alpha says my home county population is 7,800. Well, the least populated county in Ohio is about 13,000 people. So, Stacy says 20K. Yeah. Heck, in Ohio, they would be. Yeah, Stacy, I don't know where you've grown up, but yeah, there's all kinds of you get out to these states, there's sparsely populated areas. It's like, here's Ohio. And the number one is Franklin County, where Columbus is. Number two's Cleveland, Cuyahoga County. It's 1.2 million people. I mean, you get all the way down to, hold on, where is, okay. So like you scroll down here, you're going down pretty far, pretty quick. So like here where I was, Champaign County as a prosecutor, 38,000 people. And yeah, I mean, there's 88 counties in Ohio. They would be number 83 if Carroll County was here. I mean, these counties right here, Paulding's way out west, but these ones right here, these guys are all down in Appalachia. But yeah, these are small areas. That's not uncommon at all for us. So you're just saying like, holy cow, it's like, that's a normal day at the office. Going around those places. Is Judge Go elected or appointed? Well, eventually she has to be retained, but she's not going to be shamed. The population of Delphi will double with reporters alone. I agree. And yeah, this is what happens. And the thing is, people, it's in Indiana. It's nope. Everybody wants a judge like, I'm for law and order. I'll put the bad guys in prison. People vote for that. You're not gonna be like, I'm gonna give everybody a fair shake. People don't like that. They want people who put people in prison. So, and that's a shame. Said it right. It's where'd you say you were just here? I saw it. Yeah, the Law and Order Republicans is an uphill battle out on the streets. Even Ohio, that's still an uphill battle. That's a thing. Even people on the left, not like the hard left, but moderates and like kind of left center people, they want judges who are going to be tough. So, yeah. Allegan saying, is the trial in Carroll? It's going to be in Carroll County. The trial itself in Delphi. Jury selection is in Fort Wayne. I have as many subs as the entire population. Yeah. Yes. I would be the 83rd most populated county in the state of Ohio and pretty high up the chain in Indiana. How red is this county? Dude, it's Indiana. I mean, it's going to be... I don't even know without looking. I guarantee you at least went 80% to the Republicans in 2020. We could look it up, though. Here we go. I mean, but here's the problem, though. I mean, I can tell you this much. Go to any county surrounding Carroll County, because here's Carroll County, right here in red. It's in the state of Indiana. Here's what I can tell you right now. Okay, that didn't work. The entire county, though, this whole state is gonna be red, except for like Gary, Indiana, and probably Indianapolis. This whole thing is pretty much gonna be red, and I guarantee it's dark red. But let's see here. Geography, nope. Government of Indiana, no. Demographics, here we go. Yes, so Republican in 2020, 74%. The Democrats got slaughtered. But look at like pretty much every, some years not as much bad. But look, I mean, there's in 92, wow, Ross Perot pulled really hard in there in 92. He got 25%. So good for him. And then look at that 15%. Like, damn. But look, what year did they not? 1964. The county went for Johnson. But going back to pre-World War II, minimum 50% Republican vote. That's a beat red county. And I guarantee you all the counties around it are going to be, counties all around it. Here's the Indiana electoral map for 2020. Here you go. You wanted the Indiana electoral map? I mean, pretty much there you go. And Carroll County's like right here. So this is that red's not going to work. Green. This is Carroll County, like right here. Look at this. It's all like, okay, a little bit of blue there. But look how red this this is the heartland part of Indiana. It's like Hoosiers, bro. It's their thing. It's their thing, right? All that stuff. So the only town I lived in Indiana had 2,500 people. Wow. That's pretty small. Now I feel bad for that. She shouldn't even be their judge. Well, that judge had to recuse himself. So, saying look at Trago's audience. Why is Trago's audience very like pro-state? I'm surprised, given Trago's is pretty balanced, and he does defense work when he does anything. So, I haven't watched any of his stuff. The defense has a decent shot because they have like people like Todd Click, cops that have an actual alternate suspect. Yeah. Yep. Is that trial schedule essentially putting your finger on the scale? No, not really too bad, but Unknown Hero says $2. Oh, I'm gonna come. Well, don't come. Yes, Stacy, you live in a city with 200,000 people, in the region about 1 million. Yes, you live in a very different place. Yes. Shit, I'm trying to catch up here to you guys. I vote against retaining any judge because I want term limits. Yeah. Oh, he has a lot of don't be mean wine moms. That's sad because I like his content. I just don't read his comments too much. He has Sarah Boone Sims. Well, we have Sarah Boone Sims here. That's not impressive. We have those. Hit that thumbs up, folks. Don't be lazy. Nick Storrow. Nick, how you doing, buddy? I know you're getting ready to do a live stream kind of fundraiser to help donate for Richard Allen. I don't know what you're up to right now, but if you'd like to, I can send you a link if you're interested. No pressure at all, though, because I know it's like 5 or 6 a.m. over in Sweden, so no pressure at all. Let's say, and I didn't realize you weren't set up for this. Hold on, I gotta fix something. Let me fix this. So I'll let Sean plug my fundraiser. Yeah, it's going to be the 5th at, I think, 4 p.m. Eastern. Or no, wait, 2 p.m. Eastern. 2 p.m. Eastern. And you're going to go for a while, try to generate some money for the fund for Richard Allen. If you guys weren't aware, there is a defense fund for Richard Allen to get him experts. And that's the next thing. We're going to get to that. Yes, there's 4 counties. Yep. Yes. Yep, there's 4 blue counties there. Yeah, so if I didn't get it right, let me know. Let me know if I didn't get it right. J-Rock gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, J-Rock. And whoever got one of those, guys, I know we're probably very thankful for it. Let J-Rock know. It's a very gracious gift. Thank you for your support, J-Rock. And J-Rock, I don't know if you saw it earlier. I tried to explain with the panda hat. We're going to have to get some elastic on it because it seems like it works pretty good. Like this year's fine. This year's a problem. This other is a problem, though. Because when you do it, it wants to ride off your head. See what I mean? It wants to start going. I'm not even pushing it, and it's like... You almost... Like, even when I try to counterbalance it, it wants to ride off my head, so we can't... we're going to have to fix it a little bit. So, just so you're aware of that. You should mark where Alan's currently being housed just to make the point. Yeah, I will. Luke says he didn't have to. What? Oh, the judge, he didn't have to? Yeah, but there's times where that'll happen because what their involvement is in the community for whatever reason. I don't blame the judge for doing that. It probably would have been better overall. Oh, you will kill yourself, Purdue gets to the Final Four. Oh, jeez. I was gonna say I guess I shouldn't ask. Is Indiana still in it? So I know they were kind of looking good for a while. Oh, I don't really remember. I think I picked them going for a while. Sean Brennan says Franklin County reporting starting to get crowded with Californians. That's why I stay away from those places. Nick says, come down the cold, save your voice. All right. Hope you feel better. Unsolved crimes uncovered. Oh. Yep, there's already a crowdfunding established. Yep. But I think Nick's money is going, whatever Nick raises is going towards that. Whatever he raises off YouTube will be going there. Because there is a site, and you know what, well, guys, we'll just get to it now. So you are aware. It is still going. It is up. They met their initial goal, but that initial goal only gets them part way. Really, there's more that needs done. So, hold on here. Why is it not loading? So, here is Richard Allen's. Yeah, it doesn't want to load, so I'm restarting it. This is the experts fund for Richard Allen, guys, because he's not being allowed to have experts provided at state expense. So, yes, this is the big thing here. His goal is $45,000, and that's probably barely enough. And he's right now at $27,000, which isn't a bad amount. So far, 560 people have donated $27,000. And anybody who's donated, you are fighting the good fight, helping what I believe is an innocent man. So thank you if you've done it. So the donations are not tax deductible. That's the sad part about it. But it's important. It's very important. And we'll get to that in a second, why that happened. And you know what? We'll just cut to the chase. So the judge did enter. She then goes on to talk about what happened at the hearings, and she puts her entry together. And here's the beauty of her entries. So the state ordered a protective order for evidence gathered from the Indiana Department of Corrections because they're trying to prevent the prison guards from being deposed. And it's very important. So it denied the state's motion, though, so they're getting allowed to get deposed, except the defendants are prohibited from disseminating any personal practices of the deponents. Those are the guards being deposed. So on the 25th, again, and Gold does this all the time, guys, she does these orders that are done through the entries. She doesn't write her own thing out, which is absolute garbage. And here's a problem with it. Nick, I think you already sent me an invite, but I'll double check. So there were multiple things that were set up. This page is too tall for the marker. Okay, so Baldwin and Rosie appeared with their attorney, David Hennessy. He's the guy who's gotten them ready for the sanctions. So, and prior to the commencement of the hearing, the following preliminary matters were addressed. Talk about 1. The state's motion to leave amended charging information by adding counts 3 and 4. The felony murders were granted without objection. Okay. Counsel waived the initial hearing on counts 3 and 4, and that's fine. That's actually not a problem. Like, it doesn't change anything for what Rosie and Baldwin are doing. We're not going to actually have a hearing, because otherwise they could force them to come in and do all the hearings and do the whole dance. No point in doing that. The state's oral motion to dismiss counts 5 and 6 kidnapping were granted without objection. The verified petition for recusal of the prosecutor for contempt is heard and denied. We don't know why. She just said because. And it's funny because the Indiana Supreme Court kept bringing up, we don't have a record to really know what happened. And this is going to be a disaster on appeal because there isn't going to be a record. And the judge might say things in court, but I doubt it was anything of note. So there's nothing there. The state withdrew its motions for all future pleadings and filings to be sealed for the court's review before being released to the public. Attorney Hennessy's verified emergency motion for continuance and supplement to verified emergency motion for continuance heard and again denied. Number 6, Attorney Hennessy's motion to stay all the ancillary proceedings and get this case to trial and the state's objection heard. As the case is proceeding, the motion to stay is denied. The court has granted Rosie and Baldwin a motion for a speedy trial. The case is now set for May 13th. Hennessy's motion for specific findings of fact and conclusions thereon granted with respect to the contempt proceeding. Attorney Hennessy's verified petition for recusal from contempt proceedings heard and denied. Attorney Hennessy's objection to change of venue noted. No objection was made by defense counsel or defense counsel's attorney until March 12th. The hearing was previously set in February and continued to March 18th on counsel's motion without objection to the hearing taking place in Allen County. Court overrules the objection but will continue future hearings, if any, in the Carroll Circuit Court, so in Carroll and Delphi. The court then conducts the hearing on the state's verified information of contemptuous conduct and takes the evidence and arguments of counsel under advisement. Attorney Hennessy requests the opportunity to brief, post-hearing brief. The court orders him to submit it before March 25th. The state gets to submit before April 1st. The court's 30 days to rule begins April 1st. Hold on, guys. So that is where we are with this right now. That's what happened on the 18th. That is all the stuff. So what did she do? Judge Gold did her thing of, well, I don't like it. Denied. I mean, this woman, is there a motion she's ever seen that she does not like? It's infuriating on so many levels. I mean, this woman literally is just shitting all over the process. And I hate to try to say it like that, but it is absolutely garbage now, what she does here. It is just... it's not getting any better. I mean, I don't see this and feel confident. So. Yep, the fund got raised to 45,000. Oh, today got raised. Okay, I thought it was more earlier. But yes, 25 is going to be too low. Yes, 25 kind of gets things going. And yes, unsolved crimes uncovered. Just giving them a look. Their channel covering Delphi among other things, and yeah, they don't appear to be crazy. Definitely does not look like to be, pro-state garbage. Looks very well balanced. So guys, give her a look if you're interested. Take a look at what she's got going on out there. Let's see. Yes, and guys, don't forget about Nick. He always does good stuff. It's very excited. Yes, it is very excited. Well, you never in it. Thanks. I'm sorry. Nope. Well, my bad. Nick, for 100 Swedish kroner, is saying, I'm going to Delphi in August to show those diaper Nazis what an actual Viking looks like. And my fundraiser is directly to the current fundraiser. Okay, perfect. Yes. So, yes, he's going to show those Norse pagans. Well, I believe in Odin. And then Snivels, is a new member. Thank you, Snivels. Chugi Show for $1.99 saying, can a request be made for daily court transcripts? Yes. Here's the problem, though. That's, number one, a lot of frickin' money. And there's only going to be one court reporter there, so to have real-time transcription and things like that, like the Johnny Depp trial, like they were having report, like there was an army of people involved in that. And to have, like a 3-day trial is going to be a couple hundred pages. Like, you're looking like a 3-day jury trial is like 1,200 pages of transcripts alone. So you're looking at like 300 pages of transcripts every day. And that's getting transcripts prepared is a lot of freaking money. But yeah, you'd have to have it's not an easy thing to do, but it could be done, but it's going to cost a ton of money. A ton of money. So... yeah, that's where we are. Yeah, she doesn't read these. I'm convinced of that too. And I could say unsolved. As an attorney, I've never seen a judge act like this in Ohio. The judges will provide a ruling, and they'll be, especially for the depth and the seriousness of this, they won't just go on and go denied, and then walk away. But this is how this judge does. Luke says the motions in limine are going to be a fuckfest. I can taste it already. No, they're not. She's just going to go, oh, I'm denied. No. And it's all coming in, Richard. I'm going to fuck you, Mr. Allen. And then when the state brings up its motions in limine, she'll be like, I love you, Nick. Oh, wobble, 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 wobble. That's what she's going to do. We already know she's going to do that. So... Offer the judge a French fry for sole streaming rights. She might. She might. So, no Mayday says, what's the Ashkenazi population in Delphi? I'm betting 0.0%. So apparently there's Odin's Den. It's a tattoo parlor. Ooh. Ariel says it's $5.75 per page from the court reporter there. Yes, but that's if you wanted to order a transcript for a hearing that's already happened. And they're going to have to get to it. And they have to transcribe it. They have to convert their shorthand into words and then edit it and put it together. To get it done the day you just did it, you went from 9 to 5. And then how long is it going to take her? She could be doing that till like midnight before you get it. Like it's not that quick. So yes, that's roughly a cost for pages per page. But you're asking for, a ton of pages to be done in a day. And it'd be done to the point where you could use them. You're not going to get that. Unless there's other ones around. So. Over and under on whether Nick motions to exclude the Odinist. I can see him trying that. Yeah. Every attorney I talk to is completely stunned. Yeah. And it's almost like she doesn't understand she's the problem. I don't think she understands she's the problem. Like, part of me also is terrified to think this woman runs a courtroom somewhere else, probably in this manner, and people have had to deal with her fucking insanity for decades now. And she's done so much. It's pushed beyond, there's the idea. What do you attribute to malice? You should attribute to stupidity first. She's done so much. She's way, we're going all, she's pushed it. She's done so many things. I can't believe she's stupid anymore, and I have to think she's completely malicious. Because there's no explanation for any of this. I mean, I would love for her to have to justify these things. And she tried to justify her reasons in front of the Indiana Supreme Court. And I said this at the time. I said this multiple times. When I went on the things with Eric Hunley, I said it here. I said wherever I could, we were talking about Delphi. She's going to look like a moron, and she did. The Supreme Court basically called her out and said, you're an idiot. And said, you can't do... They said, honey. They're like, honey. Honey, Francis, honey. Sweet cheeks, you can't do this, sugar britches. You can't do this, sweet tits. Can't do it like that. They said, come on now. It's your first day on the job. And they had to put the attorneys back on. The woman is dangerous, and she's going to cause problems. Unsolved, reach out to us. I'm at LawTube Sean, or if you want to reach out, I have an email down below, and we can talk. Let's see if we can work something out. Can they request a written ruling on motions? Yes. And if we look here, the where do they have it down here? Yes. So the specific findings of fact and conclusions has been granted with the contempt proceeding. Notice she didn't grant it for all the other things, but you can ask for findings of fact and conclusions of law. Or conclusions of, findings of law and conclusions of fact. However your state may do that. You are allowed to ask for that. You are allowed to motion for that. That is a standard motion filed in civil proceedings. In criminal cases, normally you don't have to. Especially something like that Franks hearing, where the judge decided not to have the hearing, but just decimated 200 pages of motions with a fucking 3-sentence entry. No, most places would actually put out a bit of a ruling on it, and it'd have some basics at least. So yes, they're asking her to justify things, and that said, though, with Judge Allen, I guarantee, or Judge Gull, by May 1st, she is going to drop a fucking bomb in the case. You know, she's like, we started 12 days, but the attorneys must do 30 days in jail. Mr. Allen, you better defend yourself. She's going to be like, we were soldiers. Richard Allen's going to be standing there and his attorneys get hauled off, and she'll say, gentlemen, prepare to defend yourself. I'm Judge Gall. Rah! That's pretty much how it's going to go. And we're not going to have any cameras there, so when the reporters come out and say that, everyone's going to be like, no way. It's going to be like, yeah, way. Yup. 100% way. That's how it's going to go. Sounds like a fair trial, I know. Guys facing Stalin's purges had fairer trials than this. So. Do you think she has the balls to grant it? No, she hasn't the balls to grant anything to help Richard Allen. So. Nick, and we're going to get to this issue here. So we're going to get to this real quick, guys. Why is this an issue with the experts? So the problem is, even if the experts get done with everything in time, there is a big issue. When you have an expert, the other side has the right to have it provided their report ahead of time, their CV ahead of time. Why? Because the opposing party then has to consult with their experts about your expert and say, hey, you know, like, think if it's let's say there was an issue of forensics here, okay, and it was like DNA stuff. And the state had a DNA guy and you have a DNA guy. You hired your DNA, the defense hires a DNA guy. All that stuff gets, you get his report and all the information, and you have to give it to the prosecutor because you introduce it. What then happens is the prosecutor calls up their DNA guy and says, hey, man, take a look at this. And then the other side's expert takes a look through it and says, oh, fuck this guy. It's all bullshit. Fuck him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Or, okay, I can see where he came up with that. But then they have the opportunity to be prepared, and there's no surprise. Same thing for the defense. The defense's expert is going to look at the state's expert's report and go, yeah, fuck this guy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Or he might say, okay, yeah, some of this is legit, but we'll make it work. You need at least 30 days generally ahead of time to get that prepared and provided. I don't think that's going to happen here. I doubt it can happen even if we wanted it to. Because these experts have not done all the work without getting paid. Baldwin and Rosie have paid a little bit out of pocket to get some of these experts going. But it's only been a couple $1,000s, and that's barely going to get them started, like barely looking at the basic information. So even if we get the money and it's spent, Nick McClellan's going to run up and screaming, oh, we haven't had a chance to prepare, Judge. This is a catastrophe. It's not fair to us. And remember, only one side is entitled to a fair trial. Only one side. That's the defendant is entitled to a fair trial. Read the Sixth Amendment. The writers of the Constitution the Bill of Rights did not give a fuck about the rights of the state at that point and the government. Because read through those first 8 amendments. What are they all about? The government can't do things to you. So when you get to the Sixth Amendment, they're not entitled to a fair trial. Nobody cares about the state getting an impartial jury. If everybody in the jury hates the state, well, that's what they need. Like I said, you need to have that Hans of the bodies moment. If everybody hates you and won't convict someone, that's where you need to sit back and say, why does everybody in town fucking hate us? So it might not matter ultimately, but we have to fight. And Richard Allen needs to fight, and they have to keep going. But be prepared for that to be an issue, guys. I'm not trying to poop on the parade or scare anybody, but that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen here. That's just the nature of the business. I can tell you already. Luke says, I wouldn't be surprised if you kept Allen shackled in view of the jury. I mean, that's an automatic mistrial if that happens, and that's an automatic reversal. That is 100% an automatic reversal if she did that. On top of every other thing she has fucked up, that's like a big one. That's kind of like, you are retarded if you fuck that up. Now, granted, Judge Gull is retarded, so she might do that. So. I don't think you're wrong. Hennessy said this is her precious, like, Gollum. Yeah, I think so. It's just... I mean, people say that. I just think she's a blithering idiot. And she's kind of like bubbling her way through this. I don't think she fathoms what she has done and what she has created. I don't think she realized like, you know, like, guys, I keep using it because it's the best appropriate thing for this. You know, somebody fired up Soul Calibur, like, whatever, you know, Matrix we're in right now. And it's all computer simulation. And somebody modded up, you know, and did a ROM of Soul Calibur, and Gull got stuck in it. It's like, welcome back to the stage of history. And it's her turn up there, and she doesn't understand what the fuck she's doing. So, it's just, yeah. So. Oh, you meant the balls to grant the no Odinist motion. Oh, yeah. Well, for now, she's going to let him get deposed, but yes, I have a feeling she'll motion and limit that and grant it, so. That's going to happen. I wouldn't be surprised if they have fronted that amount prior to fundraising. Well, we'll see. And the biggest problem is Judge Gull's denied Richard Allen the opportunity to get expenses. And you know what? I've never heard of that happening. I've never heard of that happening. Now, if you want an expert, he costs like $500,000 and you're the defense. Yeah, courts might not grant that, but a basic firearms expert, a basic DNA expert, a basic phone expert, some basic experts will cost a couple $1,000s. The fact she isn't giving those is fucking criminal. And it probably will get overturned on an appeal. He has the right to a zealous, effective defense. This isn't a guy who stole a car. This isn't a guy trafficking like a half a pound of weed. This is a guy facing life in prison for a double murder. The idea he's not entitled to any experts is fucking baffling to me. So. Yeah. So didn't they file for her to recuse herself? Yeah, and she's like, nope, I deny it. And if they try to appeal it, that defeats the purpose of speedy trial, so they probably aren't going to be able to do that for now. So. She'll probably quash a subpoena for the prisoner witness like she did last year. No, she didn't even quash. No, she. Oh, mon frere. She did not quash the subpoena. She literally told officers of the court, don't enforce that subpoena. Not by order. She literally just called up the sheriff's office like, yeah, hey guys, don't enforce that subpoena. No, I'm not going to actually make an order for that to happen. No, just don't do it. She did what would understandably be called contemptuous conduct had the attorneys done that. Had Baldwin or Rozzi told somebody, hey, you got a subpoena? Yeah, don't show up for that. And then that got out, she would be screaming mad over that. So no, it didn't even quash it. She completely did that wrong. In accordance with no rules at all. I think she's being blackmailed. I don't think so. She's just an idiot. I mean, who's blackmailing her? These fucking douchebag Odinists? I mean, these guys, they probably, like the guys, you know, and I don't know if you're here for this last time we talked about it. Yeah, they're Odinists, and they go out and play hide Odin spear. You know, they walk around naked in the woods, go, oh, I guess you hid it inside me, ooh. And then they turn around and try to hide it in each other. That's what these guys do. I'm a pagan. I love Odin. It's a bunch of Redditors in real life. So as much as you'd like to think it, but yeah, even Sarah Boone gets experts. Yes. I've wondered if she's an Odinist or married to one. I don't even think it's that. She's just a moron. She's just terminally retarded. No expert sounds reversible. I guarantee you it's going to be damn reversible. Michael Bullis says, aren't experts on standard fees for the state? I'm not sure what you mean. I mean, the state has its own budget, so they get to pay for whatever they want. They can spend all their money on like obnoxious bullshit experts. I mean, like the Casey Anthony trial is still the biggest example of that. They had a dude who said, remember, what did he say he was going to do? I take a cup, I take a glass jar, and I scoop it through the trunk, and I put a lid on it right away. And then I go take that to my lab and examine the air that's inside of it. And that's how I determined there was a decomposing body in the trunk. That was their expert, and they paid tons of money for that guy. The state can spend their money like a drunken sailor. So yes, she is a zealot. Yes, she is a career prosecutor, and that's part of the problem with her. She's only been a prosecutor, and she's never been out there, you know. She believes the state could do no wrong. And she's never met, yeah, I'm sure if you overturn one of her cases, she'd say, well, I still think he's guilty, or, oh, not guilty doesn't mean innocent. Not guilty doesn't mean innocent. Oh, I'm sure her gizzard clucks when she does that. So, yeah, they have like 10 experts, yeah, because the state gets a war chest. You don't. The state gets a war chest, and your wallet is kicking out tumbleweeds. Yes, the state should get, and the state defense should get the same amount. That would drastically change how cases are presented. I would love that, from your lips to God's ears. So anyways, guys, let's get on to some of this stuff here, okay? Let's keep moving. So there are some things we're going to talk about. If they'll load. Oh my God. These PDFs, you're killing me. So there are people who are now getting involved in the case. And there's randos who are sending emails in, okay? So, and I hate to use Reddit, guys, but this is where this stuff is available because it's hard to get it everywhere else. But this comes from a lady named Monica Perkins. She's emailing the judge. Guys, do not email the judge. You're not helping anything when you do this. Now, this part right here, the caution emails from outside your organization, that's a warning that her email gives her because it's a government email saying be careful. So I'm writing to you as a concerned citizen closely following the case of Richard Allen, who's been charged in connection with a high-profile crime that's captivated the attention of not only the local community, but also observers around the world. It is with a heavy heart and a deep sense of civic duty. I express my concerns regarding the transparency and integrity of the legal proceedings. Okay, thanks, Monica. I'm sure we want to really give a shit about what you have to think right now. Now, to be fair, I'm sitting here doing it, but I'm not emailing the judge. Like, guys, do not tip the cows, please. Don't tip the cows. I beg you. Don't go out and touch them. Don't go out and touch these people. You are not helping anybody. The case has been marked but with significant interest. And with Richard Allen having spent over 515 days in solitary confinement without trial, concerns regarding the fairness and the timeliness of legal proceedings have been amplified. The documents and evidence available made to the public have raised serious questions about the integrity and honesty of the law enforcement response to this tragedy. It is crucial to underline that these concerns are not merely personal opinions, but reflections based on the information and documentation released to the public. Judge Gold don't give a fuck what you got to say, Monica. Given these circumstances, I implore you, as the presiding judge in this case, to consider the paramount importance of transparency. Allowing for the real-time streaming of the trial would serve as a critical step towards ensuring public confidence in the judicial process. Somebody like Judge Gull, guys, somebody like Judge Gull will deny public access just as a fuck you to her. So, like, Judge, you need to do that. I guarantee you Judge Gull's the type of human being that would say, fuck you, and deny it just because of that. She's not going to read your letters, yes. But, even if she did, Judge Gull sounds like such a horrible human being, she would say, fuck you, I'm not allowing it just to spite you at this point. Okay, so be careful. And she goes on to say further, in an era where access to information is both a right and an expectation, such a measure would significantly contribute to upholding the principles of justice and accountability that are the bedrock of our legal system. I mean, I don't... Listen here. Listen, Monica. You know, it's a right and an expectation. Look, coming from me, no lies detected. I'm 100% with you. Like, we're like those hammers in the wall. You know, just do. We're in lockstep. We're in lockstep right now. Judge Gull ain't on that. Such a measure would contribute to upholding the principles of justice and accountability that are bedrock of our legal system. Yeah, Judge Gull, yeah, she don't think you don't have a right to that information, and it's an expectation. She says, fuck your expectation. I am the law, screamed Frances as she clucked in her courtroom. Moreover, recent revelations suggest... I'm having a merch attack here. Moreover, recent revelations suggesting that Mr. Allen may not have been present at the crime scene at the time of the murders only add an urgency for a fair, transparent trial. I will fairly sentence him to life in prison, don't you worry. It's imperative the trial process not only seeks to deliver justice for Abby and Libby, but also ensures the true perpetrator... It's not imperative because that's not the proper... The trial is to determine whether or not Richard Allen did it, and he gets justice. Libby and Abby, yeah, I get it. They're the victims here, but that's secondary. Did Richard Allen do it? No? Okay. Because then it's not about justice for them, really. It's about justice for Richard Allen. It ensures that as the true perpetrators of this heinous crime are held accountable. In closing, I respectfully request that you, as a steward of justice, some steward, make decisions that prioritize the public's interest in a transparent and fair trial for Richard Allen. This is not only essential for upholding the integrity of our legal system, but for ensuring justice for Abby and Libby is achieved in the truest sense. Thank you for considering my concerns. She did not. I trust in your wisdom. I don't. And commitment to justice. Citation needed for both of these allegations. Really, citation needed, guys. Sincerely, Monica Perkins. Sincerely, signed a boomer. No signature in here. Nothing, just your name. Boomerific. Mr. Boombastic. So, yeah. Judge Gold don't give a shit. She could literally get 500 million emails and she won't bat a fucking eye. I can tell you that right now. Everybody in the country could send her an email and she won't bat an eye. She's going to do what she wants to do. And right now it's to jerk him around. So let's just be real about that. Now, there is another development as far as things are concerned. We've got a new player in the game right now. And that player there's a limited appearance for the defendant. So there is a new attorney on the block. There's a new kid on the block now. The undersigned attorney in this forum now appears in a limited capacity for Richard Allen. This is a limited appearance with the understanding counsel will be assisting the client and the two attorneys, Baldwin and Rozzi, with matters related to the service of process. Why does this keep showing up? I don't want to comment. I don't want those. Turn it off. And future depositions of the Federal Bureau of Investigations agents associated with the investigation of and prosecution of Richard Allen. Counsel further anticipates assisting defendant Allen and his legal team with digital forensic issues surrounding the investigation and prosecution of Allen, but not limited to conducting discovery depositions and courtroom examinations. So they're putting everybody on notice. She might be strapping on her fucking... She's going to put her boots on, it looks like. And this attorney is Jennifer Auger. And she is going to be... And you guys are probably wondering the service of process thing. So service of process. Serving papers, serving subpoenas, serving documents. You are allowed to do that as an attorney. Most states, if you're an attorney, you have statewide power to serve documents. So I can serve subpoenas on people. Technically, I can serve, like if I have a client and he wants to file a lawsuit, I can file the lawsuit and then serve it on a party. I am a process server. And I could go all over the place and do stuff. For example, when I was in the prosecutor's office, my first prosecutor's office I was at, there was a school shooting that happened like 6 months before I got there. And we had a trial that was set. Kid who did it wanted to go to trial. And we had to subpoena, like, we needed to get ready. We had like 3 months out. We started getting ready, like hardcore. Part of that was subpoenaing students and getting them ready for trial. So we had like 50 or so students we had to get done. So I went with, because I was the new guy and I didn't have a family. My boss looked at me. He's like, "Hey, can you go with, the detective and go run around and serve subpoenas for like 2 nights? After he's like, I'll send you you're going to work." And then he's like, "Go do this." And then he's like, "I'll give you Friday off." I'm like, "Okay, cool." Because I'll be working like for 3 or 4 hours after work is over. So I went with the detective. We rode around on the squad car, his detective car. And I served subpoenas on fucking high school students for like 3.5 hours, 2 nights in a row. And these parents, like, they got fucking mad. But as an attorney, I had the authority to serve process. And that includes serving documents like that. So I'm handing out subpoenas. I'm doing all kinds of stuff. She also, and I was involved in doing a deposition or two. Because I could ask questions I wasn't involved and I wasn't going to try it. Because I didn't know anything about it. So there were some depositions and I had to go to those. But she is going to depose the FBI agents. She can also do depositions and courtroom examinations. So she's going to come in there and probably put some foot to ass with some of the digital stuff. She might have a pretty good knowledge base. Remember, she doesn't have to be an expert, but she can challenge their experts. Think about like my cousin Vinny when the guy tries to question her over the car stuff. Okay, she might know enough to be dangerous to an expert. But yes, she has the right to serve process. She can go out and do it. And the neat thing is, they don't need that private eye if they've got an investigator. He's just doing investigator stuff. That attorney could go do it and it's free. So there's an advantage to that stuff. Judge has that rare adult ODD. I think so. You think she has a heat allergy too? Honey! Oh. Yes, denied. This one, this is actually a, this really isn't an issue for her to deny because it's an appearance issue. It's just, there's another attorney who's jumping on the case. It's just notifying. But technically she could deny it, but I think that would be really bad if she tried that too. Let me see here. Don't tell Chili this. Oh. I said, "You got served," and they all started dancing. No. But what I had, I knock on the door and say, "Hi, is so-and-so here? Hi, I'm with the prosecutor's office, and, I'm here with the detective." And they remembered, they knew who the detective was. Because he had been, one of the guys, involved, went into the school, took care of business. and like also came and interviewed the kids afterwards, so they knew him. But even then, they were fucking livid. They were getting served documents, and they're like, "Well, who do I call about this?" And I said, "Sir, the office is closed. If you call first thing in the morning, they'll be available." And I went out, did it, and I got there in the morning. I got there like, the office opens at like 8:30, so I get there like 8 o'clock, and my boss walks in like like he's like there 10 after 8, and I'm like, hey boss, he's like, how'd it go last night? I'm like, you're probably gonna get a lot of phone calls. He's like, what happened? I'm like, people are not happy. I said, I didn't do anything wrong. He's like, people are just very unhappy right now that you're subpoenaing their children. He's like, oh, well, I got to do what I got to do. And yeah, he got phone calls for like 20 minutes straight of people calling in. So it happens. People get mad. They don't like being served. Luke says, they're also asking her to be paid so she could deny that. I mean, to be fair, the rest of them aren't getting paid either. So, I mean, Rozzy's not getting paid. And Rozzy's what, like 51? They owe her like 50. They owe him a lot of money. Baldwin's owed a lot of money from the court too. So it's not like fine, you're working for free. I'm not paying you either. So, that's you guys are talking about all kinds of stuff there. Okay. So yeah, that is the one thing here. There's going to be a new party on the, so Baldwin, Rosie, and Auger. Hope that just means she's going to like auger right through the experts and just burrow a hole through them. No pun intended. Well, actually, really, yeah, that was intended completely. You could boo me for that joke, but I think it was a good one. So, in addition to that, we did get another email. There was another email here. And this is an order of the court saying this ex parte communication from somebody, LGW, was done, and they're sending out the information to everybody. So, this is all being sent to the parties. And that's what happens with an ex parte. Everybody gets told about it. So, what's this one? This one is very much similar. So it comes from LGW Lugwall 12137 at gmail.com. So Honorable Francis Gull, I am writing to ask you to reconsider your denial of the cameras. I understand you have been a proponent of cameras in the courtroom and you were part of a pilot program for such. Yes, that's the funny thing. She's all about cameras in the courtroom except for this fucking time, which you're like, what? What? Like, really? What happened, Francis? What happened? So, I would like to share you what I'm seeing in this case and why I think cameras are important. You don't even have your fucking name in your email, bro. I'm going to tell you each instance of what I've seen, how it made me feel. And okay, look, and I'm on board with the judge. I don't give a shit how you feel. And why I hope to get clarity. It's you are almost as self-important as her. If we're having pompous, like if this is a pompous asshole competition, you are giving her a run for the title, man. You've got your hands on the belt, champ. And now Francis has to react. So it appears Richard Allen would voluntarily help an investigation, or the public was called upon to come forward with information that may help. It appears he, like I would have in the past, wanted to help. I hope you realize that's not a good idea anymore, buddy. What I've seen in response, he was arrested with a PCA that appears to be falsified. With no supporting documentation signed by a judge, appears to be so terrified that he excused himself from the case. This makes me feel, all of my 62 years, thinking that stepping forward to help the police is a very bad idea. You're catching on. Better late than never, but yes, do not talk to the police. No hable la policía. Oh, what's to the in Espanol? I don't know. So I will now never step forward to help the police. Good boy. I told my children and grandchildren not to ever step forward. Good. If they ever stop by police, not to speak with them. Now you got it. Yes, it's like I'm just a dog. I've got the car. I just don't know what to do. Like I am just, so proud of you. Ask for an attorney immediately. Yes. Yes. Aren't the police supposed to be our friends and protectors? No, they are not. No, homie, no. Bro, no, they are not. It appears that the defendants are being prohibited from presenting their client in a proper manner. Yes. It appears that a man who's by our Constitution considered innocent until being proven guilty was being mistreated and outright tortured if he were a prisoner of war, yet has never shown violence of any kind. Even the Geneva Convention prohibits this kind of treatment of prisoners. As a regular citizen, this is terrifying to see and hear. Yep, she don't care. She don't care. It appears that law enforcement and the prosecution have destroyed evidence. They have. Falsified evidence. They have. And obstructed justice by losing unbelievable amounts of interviews and other evidence. Yep, they have. They have forgotten who and when they interviewed people. Yep. They have even got so far as lost the name professor who had pertinent information regarding the Odinist. Yep. Fingerprints appear to have been lost. Yep. A bullet magically appeared after the crime scene was thoroughly combed over. Yep. How does this happen? The cops are scumbags. Yes. There is no chain of custody. How does this happen? The cops suck. How do we trust law enforcement and the prosecution? You don't. How horrific to have come forward to help and be sitting in prison, treated worse than a war criminal. Yeah, that's why you don't do that. With number 3 in mind, how is it that the prosecution and law enforcement continue to try and remove the defense when they themselves have what appears to be them committing perjury and obstruction of justice? Because there's no accountability. Why is this? Because they have immunity. They will never be held accountable for what they've done. How can making an easy email mistake and having someone you trusted and consulted with in the past totally betray you compare with the outright falsifying of other people's testimony on a PCA and the intentional hiding the name of a man who has education as subject that provides more likely persons of interest? Because they will never be held accountable. That's how. The government is never going to hold its own agents accountable. They'll investigate themselves and find no wrongdoing. How can it be okay for this many interviews and evidence to be lost with no repercussions? Because they're in jobs that don't have that kind of an issue. Because they work for the government. Is this intentional? Probably at this point. So, it appears that a parity is supposed to exist in our justice system between those who have not the ability, between those who have and those who have not the ability to pay for defense services is not being upheld in this case. I have news for you. That's not how that, I mean, it should be, but the amount of money in your wallet determines how good your defense is going to be. I am not a rich person. It appears to me were I arrested, I would not be able to expect a fair trial by having my defense pay in a timely fashion, nor my defense receive funding to provide expert witnesses on my behalf. Pretty much. That's how Gold's doing this. How many other citizens are sitting in prison right now because they were denied what is supposedly their right to fair and equal representation? A lot of them. A lot of them. A lot of them. I'll be like Dora. Can you say a lot? So, I found a whole new respect for those that defend the accused in court. They're making sure anyone accused is found guilty and incarcerated by facts, not fiction. I'm hoping you will rectify this by approving payment to Richard Allen's defense, and that you will approve payment for expert witnesses so that there's truly a parity in defense. That won't even make it close, but it's a start. A proper defense should not have to be paid by fundraising since we already have this right. Yep, well, She's going to say, denied! Be funny. She's dumb enough to probably send this guy a letter or a motion. In closing, I'll share you a bit about myself and something I experienced in my teen time business. I have a business in which I care for other people's beloved family pets. In that business, I have cameras throughout that business so their parents can check on their parent 24/7. I have other cameras throughout the business showing that there is someone doing what those pet parents entrusted us to do. I've seen other businesses such as mine use cameras because they don't want pet parents watching them. My answer is, if you're doing your job, if you are doing nothing wrong, why would you not give peace of mind to your clients? I'm asking you the same. Why would you not give citizens of this county peace of mind to see our system, paid for by tax dollars, is doing its job? Because she's a tyrant. Because she's a piece of shit. I hope you will reconsider your approach to the cameras as well as making this actually a fair trial. Yeah, she's not going to. I want to have peace of mind that my country's justice system actually works to protect its people. I got news for you. It don't. It don't protect people. At this point, I feel nothing but fear and sadness what appears to be going on. Will I be next? You might be. And I fear fear and sadness. Welcome to the defense bar, homie. Well, wait, I can't say homie, I say too much. Welcome to the defense bar, essay. Will one of my children be next, maybe? It's absolutely horrifying. Yes, it is. Thank you for reading this email. I hope it provokes thought and we will end up being able to see real justice in the end. Spoiler alert, or actually I'll read it like Morgan Freeman. And in the end, he did not receive real justice. It was a kangaroo trial. So, just saying. Just saying. Oh. Now, this, guys, I'm not bringing up the state's or the defense's version of this because I was having trouble getting everything set down. But this is the state's response to all the issues that arose in the previous motion for sanctions that the defense filed. Okay. So, there's a lot here. So on the hard drive, and you guys remember we talked about this. The state gave all these, like, oh, guys, look. Oh, geez, here's a bunch of hard drives. Sorry, you're going to have to look through them on your own. And, oops, sorry. We don't have, like, there's not sound for half of these. Half of them just have blank. Sorry. So specifically on the page 5 and the 6th bullet point is stated, the hard drive labeled Delphi DVR Drive 1. Containing uncatalogued interviews from the Franklin Street Investigation Center. 225 to 4/7/2017. This case is Lincoln lawyer levels of shit. Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. We need Spanish merch. Nadia habla todos camien. I don't know if that's what they're... That's a shame, says I want to be their friend. Yeah. Yes. Oh, Tilly, you're having a good night. Take care, man. Hope you're feeling better. Oh, that's a shame saying, no, this is not a boomer. This is the lawyer trolling as a boomer. They get it too much, maybe. Maybe. Yes, that could easily be. So let's get to where we are here. Okay. So it contains uncatalogued interviews from the Frank. There is no detectable audio on the original drive from which this duplicate is made. Yeah, and they mentioned that. Yeah, we already said that. The same loss described in the police chief Mullen's 2-page letter describing the loss of data from inserting drive 1 into the DVR to extract an interview file and a DVR malfunction reformatted the drive, thereby appearing to release all files. Why is this waiting? Jesus, just highlight it. However, the belief at the time that the lost files were interviews from April 28, 2017 to June 1st, 2017. Chief Mullen was at the time making an educated guess at the lost dates of those files, when in fact Drive 1 was taken to the Indiana State Police for a recovery effort. That Drive 1 was in possession of the Indiana State Police from June 2018 until approximately November 2022 for recovery efforts. And a copy of the original Drive 1 in its current state is described as being there. So it then says that the DVR contains interviews from the dates of 2/25 to April 7th without audio, but the videos are recovered. So in response to that, these reports were created when he was the Delphi chief of police regarding the 2 instances of DVR malfunction. And think about it. These bumpkin-ass cops cheaping out on their technology. Which gonna reuse them hard drives, just stick them in there. Hoo-wee! Get all that digital data off there. No more, and we can take it to you could take it and then you put it in your own talking box. It's like magic. Well, they did that and lost it all. Surprisingly. So this malfunction resulted in lost interview recordings. These reports were included in response to the defendant's March 8th letter. In addition, Carroll County prosecutor investigator Steve Mullen testified at length during the hearing on March 18th and explained efforts made to recover the data, circumstances around the 2 DVR malfunctions, and was subject to cross-examination by the defense. Yeah, okay, great. Great. That's great that they did that. And isn't it funny? Chief Mullen. Okay, and then he became, what? Investigator Mullen? Yeah, that's not an issue there. In response to this pleading, Investigator Mullen searched for written communication with ISP regarding Drive 1 from the second found an email from 2018. That's specific to this motion to compel. Investigator Mullen would testify that the recovery software from China was not able to be purchased through a local agency. Therefore, he contacted the Indiana State Police, and they did purchase software, but it couldn't recover Drive 1. That no report was generated because this is not a forensic examination. They're doing work on a murder case, and they don't make any notes. Yeah, we assisted law enforcement from Hee Hawville. Come on now. When the drive was returned, Mullen was gathering all investigation materials in his capacity as prosecutor investigator. Oh, why are you frozen? God, why do you suck right now? Why is this freezing up? There's only 6 tabs open right now total, period. Okay, so that is we have no record of who we interviewed. We're getting to that. Don't worry. We're getting to that. Okay. So upon preparing copies of the hard drive data for the discovery case, Mullen made a thorough examination of Drive 1, and the hard drive contains uncatalogued interviews from the Franklin Street investigation. There's no detectable audio in the original drive from which duplicates made. They're only video files. Yeah, okay. And now here, guys, this right here is going to be a banger of information, okay? In response to request paragraph 5C, if the defense opens the files containing law enforcement reports and runs a keyword search based on the date of the interview, the results should direct them to the reports referencing the date and determination of who participated in interviews on said date. Okay, cool. Cool. The state has not compiled a list of who was interviewed or which officers conducted the interviews during the dates in question. Because without audio, Because without audio, the files are not helpful to the investigation or trial preparation of this case. This loss is not the result of intentional conduct, but rather a malfunction of recording equipment to memorialize investigative efforts. So, we're going to go back to this part right here, guys. If this Adobe thing keeps not trying to shit itself to death. The files are not helpful to the investigation of this case without audio. The state doesn't have a list of who was interviewed. How do you know the files aren't helpful? How do you know they're not helpful? How do you know there's no exculpatory material? Oh, because we know. How? What reports do you have? What information do you have on these? You don't have any. What was there was recorded and now it's gone. There is no exculpatory material. Well, because we said so. I mean, the balls to make that statement. Like, I get it. This is 1956, and, like, we don't have the Fourth Amendment and Fifth Amendment jurisprudence we have today. Brady wasn't around. But this right here. Absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. You know, that's still not as disgusting as Sergeant Holman being a complete lying scumbag, but it's still disgusting nonetheless. You know, McClellan's like, this is acceptable work. Dude. My dude. Far, far from it. Far, far from it. In response to the request for paragraph 6, the information is provided. No explanation needs to be used writing. Defense paragraph 7, 8, 9 are statements rather than request. Yes, that you fucking suck at your job. In response to all the phone dump data does exist and has been provided. Okay, I'm sure I believe that. Now, in response, this one's great though. We do get information now about the geofencing data they couldn't provide us before. We don't have information about it. All the geofence data in the state's possession has been provided and listed in the discovery releases. Though then how did they miss it, Nick? The agency responsible for the interpretation of the geofence data is the FBI CAS team, specifically Special Agent Kevin Horan and Special Agent Sabrick. Well, it's nice that you tell them now. We're what? 45 days out? And now you're telling them what's going on? So brave, upholding the Constitution. Protecting Carroll County right there, guys. Nick McClellan, everybody. Standing on that wall, protecting us from the bad men. Brilliant work. All the arm pulling and arm twisting to get that information. So wherefore because look, Judge, we provided it. So dismiss this without a motion and dismiss it without a hearing. And the judge said, "You're right, dismissed." Bullshit again. But now we're learning things. Now we're starting to get the hold of what's out there, what actually is going down. Just absolute garbage from the state. Just absolute garbage. They're saying this with a straight face, guys. That's the real problem here. That's the crime. That's the crime. They can say this with a straight face. So hold on here. And we have never record who we interviewed. Yep, and they've talked about it. We've lost 70 days of the interviews. We don't have notes for it. Oh well. Probably wasn't important. Tee. My hard drive's having an issue with all that prawn. No, I don't know what the deal is. Like, I canceled that document, and like, it's running 100% fine now. Aaron says not related for the record. Yeah. Officer, trust me, bro. Yes. Kelt says, hey, Eric, I'm a new sub. Hi, chat. Well, thank you for being here, Kelt. Oh, you got a nice little pupper. Almost as like a little otter. McClellan is a douchebag. He's a scumbag. People like McClellan doing all this, Holman, McClellan, all these cops that have lied and screwed with things, they are a bigger threat to America and the underpinnings of our foundational system of beliefs than ISIS will ever hope to be in 100 years. They're a bigger threat to our democracy and the American way of life and our democratic institutions than the Soviet government ever was able to be. He is a shit human being. So is Holman. Holman, you are a shit human being. You are a shit healing motherfucker of a human being. McClellan, you are just as much as well. So. Oh, that was your dog back when she was a puppy. Oh, okay. Kelt says, if you too learn to read between the lines, you too could get promotion. Yes. Oh, yes. To paraphrase Sean, cops are worse than ISIS. I mean, yeah, a lot of days they are. A lot of days they are worse than ISIS. ISIS ain't running around chopping people's heads off here in America. But they're out here beating and fucking with people without, they'd be like, ISIS operates with pretty much immunity. They're just like cops. I'm sure in Islamic law, ISIS does have some limitations. You could hold them accountable. I'm sure ISIS wait, you mean I could do this? And then they can't come in and say Allah demands it? Sign me up. I only work for infidels. So, with courts like these, who needs a kangaroo court? Yeah. Yes, also Brad Holder, Patrick Westphal, Ned Smith, Johnny Messer, and Elvis Fields probably killed these two girls and are getting away with it. Yep. They killed one of the guys hey, my son knows these two girls. Let's go kill them. And we'll go do our little gay, Odin his dick rubbing session next to him. It's probably what they did. They killed the girls and they all stood there and rubbed their penises against each other. And they praised Odin, yeah. And then they walked away and said, we're not gay, though. Victoria Nuland is ISIS. Yeah, well, Victoria Nuland's a lot of things. So. Dick rubbing? I assume that's what they... Stacy? Until it's confirmed otherwise, these Odinists, I'm assuming they go out in the woods and rub each other's penises together. And they go praise it. That's how they think they praise Odin. That's exactly what they do. And if they want to convince me otherwise, them and their meth-headed prison friend who the guy with the scraggly prison beard and trusting in Odin, they're free to show the world what they did that day in that park. And if they were like, we didn't rub our dicks together, we just killed the girls, fine. I'll retract the dick rubbing statement. But you guys likely did kill those girls anyway, so. Funny Bets is too much yapping. Good night. All right, well, sorry. They call it sword fighting. Well, maybe. So there is we do actually have an interesting affidavit, and this is the affidavit from Todd Click. He was the one that provided this information to Baldwin and Rosie. And this is, guys, I don't actually have the actual affidavit. So it's a image of it. So we're going to have to read it the best we can. This is interesting. And if you guys haven't seen this before, this is very critical. So here we go. So now comes your affiant, Major Todd Click. He is a police officer of the Rushville Police Department. Okay. He has been serving as assistant chief of police, holds the rank of major, where he's responsible for supervising major criminal investigations. He has extensive training, yada, 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 yada. In August 2018, he began providing investigative assistance to help work the Abby and Libby murders in Delphi. During the investigations, I learned that Johnny Messer and Eric Basham were involved in a kidnapping that occurred in Indianapolis. Yes, these two guys were involved in a kidnapping that occurred in Indianapolis. Huh. That almost sounds like those guys might be really good suspects. Wouldn't you agree? I would agree, chat. I think that's a pretty good idea. I spoke with Taylor Hornaday, Johnny Messer's ex-girlfriend. Taylor told me that Johnny and Eric had gone to Indianapolis to purchase meth. A bunch of Odinists going out to purchase meth? No way. Taylor told me Johnny had been in contact with a guy she thought was named with Mike. Okay. Well, what did Mike do? Actually, we're going to try green. That's probably a better color around here. So, Taylor told me that Johnny and Eric met with Mike and gave him $4,000 to purchase meth. Taylor told me Mike failed to return to where Johnny and Eric were, and Mike had essentially stole their $4,000. Taylor told me that Johnny kidnapped a friend of Mike. Taylor told me the friend went by the street name of Wiener. Like I said, guys, I told y'all about these Odinists. Playing with wieners. Did I not, chat? Chat, did I not tell you that was what was going to happen here? These guys are playing with wieners. Wiener boys. The Odinists are all about wieners, apparently. Apparently, that's a tenet of Odinology. J-Rock says separately together. Oh, I bet they grabbed their dicks together. Like, their hands are wrapped around both of them at once, and they sit there and rub them against each other. Yes, sir. Rest of town's like, sir, I'm an Odinist. I'll have you know, we only rub our balls together. Ariel says, don't stop yapping. Okay. Yes, Westfall. Well, we'll get to Westfall as well. Yeah. No, I understand you're saying that your maiden name is Mullen. Yes. How can they rub it together if it extends beyond their guns? I don't know. The power of Odin. The power of Odin compels them. Lady Los Sandra saying, can you look into the Sandra Birchmore case? I can take a look at it. I have no idea what that is right now off the top of my head, though, but I can look at that. Yeah, sure. And hold on here. We'll just go ahead and I can snag that. And hold on to that. Yes, you gotta hide the spears. Jackpot's right. You know, rubbing that meat. It's a sacred ritual. Oh no, not the entirety of dicks. Yes. Yes, that's is immersion Otis? Maybe. Chugi says, I've never seen anything about that in the research I've done on Odinism, but okay. Well, these guys are the Odinists. It's Indiana Odinism. I'm sure it's just an excuse for them to go out in the woods and be homos. So. Taylor told me that Johnny Messer kidnapped Wiener at gunpoint and until he either got his $4,000 back or he got $4,000 worth of meth. Taylor told me she had previously installed a spyware program on Johnny Messer's cell phone that allowed her to listen to Johnny's surroundings through the speaker on his cell phone. Taylor told me she was listening to the kidnapping as it was happening. Taylor told me she could hear Wiener begging Johnny Messer not to kill him. And a search warrant was obtained through Vigo County, Indiana, for Taylor Hornaday's cell phone. Is that like Viggo Mortensen? Is that like is it named after him? This search warrant was in conjunction with the Delphi double homicide. During the search of her phone, the recordings of Johnny Messer's cell phones were found. One of those recordings was talking to somebody regarding the theft of his $4,000. The phone call recording corroborated her report. So he then says that on January 15th of 2019, he went and interviewed Eric Basham in prison. Eric confirmed that the kidnapping took place. Eric told me he had recently gotten a large monetary settlement. Eric told me that he and Johnny had gone to Indianapolis to secure $4,000 of meth. Eric told me that he and Johnny made contact with one of Johnny's connections. Eric told me that he gave Johnny's connection $4,000 and the guy came back, was supposed to give him $4,000 of meth. Eric told me this guy stole his money, and Eric told me that Johnny Messer grabbed this guy's friend Wiener at gunpoint and put him in the truck. Eric then told me Johnny had a .380 and they didn't have any bullets for the gun. Okay, that's still felony kidnapping. Eric then told me Johnny was trying to lose Wiener's revenge to get the $4,000 back on the meth. Eric said he tried to convince Johnny several times to let this guy go, but Johnny refused. Eric told me that Wiener was able to find them a supplier for $4,000 worth of meth. Eric told me Johnny released Wiener once they got the drugs. Yeah, see, Johnny loosened his grip on the Wiener. In January, I was contacted by Taylor Hornaday. Taylor told me she was cleaning her house today and found an old cell phone. Taylor told me she thought the cell phone belonged to her ex-boyfriend, Johnny. Taylor told me she entered the cell phone and confirmed the cell phone belonged to Johnny. Taylor told me she also found text messages regarding Johnny's involvement in the kidnapping. I have probable cause to believe the crime of kidnapping may be stored within the phone, as it is described as a blue Samsung Galaxy J1 belonging to Johnny. I requested a search warrant be issued for the phone and seize the data and everything involved in it going forward. And I affirm the penalties of perjury. This is true and accurate. So yeah, guys, we have people involved in this who are out kidnapping people. So, Carrie, you're saying, please go to the trial. I don't have time for that, and Delphi from my house is... Hold on here. Let's see how far it is. Let's do Google Maps here. Delphi, Indiana. Directions. Okay, so you want to know how far it is? Here is the drive. Here's Cleveland, okay? And I live 15 miles away from downtown Cleveland, okay? And going from Willoughby, Ohio, all the way down the turnpike, all the way through Toledo, and then you take from the turnpike, I would take Route 24, which is actually not a bad drive now. They did a lot of work on it over the past 10 years. I'm taking that all the way through Fort Wayne, all the way around, all the way down through Wabash, through Logansport, all the way down to Delphi. That's 5 hours and 300 miles. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that, guys. Sorry. I appreciate it, though. Unsolved Crime says, Gull does not have experience to try this case. The Supreme Court should have removed her. She's making Indiana look bad. She's making the justice system look bad. The rumor is Chili fans have been emailing the Nevada judge. Well, I can't wait to see them get in trouble for it, because that's something they will extradite people for, threatening judges. And then That's a Shame says, that's exactly my answer when people ask how can I defend the guilty. The state is a far bigger threat than any one criminal defendant. That's not a bad answer. I've never given that one personally. But yes, anything, people are worried about what happens. Like, the state's a bigger threat than anybody else. They're the only one that could kill you and get away with it. And they literally can't be punished. Literally, they cannot be punished. So, with that being said, guys, we need to go back to, and actually, is this going to load? I already had it loaded once. Come on. All right. Well, we're going to go back to the court's entries here, okay? Because there's some stuff that's happened. I mean, not really stuff that's happened. I mean, we are still set for jury trial starting on the 15th. Okay? I'm sorry, May 13th. We're still having trial. But we need to go back through all the things that have been issued. So, here's what's happened. The ex parte communications were sent. The ex parte communications from Monica Perkins. Yep. This is the limited appearance we saw. And we have the verified petition for public funds. And this is the funds motion that was filed by Bradley Rosie. Okay. This one is asking for the... This was him asking for the verified petition of public funds to reimburse attorney Jennifer Auger for the legal services rendered on behalf of the pauper defendant Richard M. Allen. In support of this, Rosie swears and affirms as follows: that Allen has been previously determined to be indigent and is currently represented by the public defenders, Rosie and Baldwin. The speedy trial is currently scheduled on May 13th. Yep, it's coming. It's a coming, chat. The volume of discovery in this case exists, and it's such a... I mean, I can only imagine the amount of discovery they have. I mean, there's going to be people who just sit there and go through it and read it. Is unprecedented and has been articulated in various pleadings previously filed with this court, you know, as just monstrous. One small but extremely important part of the prosecution's case in Richard Allen's defense is the existence of digital forensic data, including but not limited to all the cell phone information from Liberty German cell phone, as well as cell tower stuff, including the geofencing. So yeah, this is a big deal. Over the past several weeks and through the vehicle of discovery depositions, the defense attempted to identify the state's witnesses and/or witnesses regarding the digital information contained during the investigation. The process involved trial and error, but the defense has now reason to believe the state's witnesses are agents of the FBI or task forces associated therewithin. And those are the two guys we talked about, Agent Sabrick and Kevin Horn. And this goes back again to an issue that I've brought up before when you deal with the feds. If you ever want to talk to the feds, it's like pulling teeth. Said discovery attempts, we talked about this in the Trump case, about the TUI letters, the TUI process. The necessity of satisfying the TUI process, for which requires a submission of documentation and pre-approval by the FBI in order to simply sit down and take a simple deposition of an agent. Even to serve them a subpoena, to give them anything, you have to comply with the TUI process. It is a pain in the ass. There also exists the burden of the passage of time, which naturally has created scenarios where those involved are no longer at their former location or their former capacities. All of this causes logistical delays. You know, Baldwin and Rosie have a very limited time and therefore need assistance getting this digital evidence vetted. So they have sought the services of attorney Jennifer Auger, who practices nearby, who practices in Franklin, Indiana, near Attorney Baldwin's office, where she would have easy access. She's also entered her limited appearance, and she's already done that. Baldwin and Rosie believe that in the best interest of Allen and the interest of judicial economy, that she assist by addressing the circumstances surrounding the digital forensics in the case they're in. And they request this court order the Carroll County Auditor reimburse Attorney Auger for costs associated. At the same hourly rate as Baldwin and Rosie are currently being compensated. Well, it's funny because they're not being paid anyway. Said reimbursement would be contingent upon the court's pre-approval of submitted invoices. Well, we know Cole's not granting those anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Defendant Allen has been consulted and consents to the entry of Attorney augurs limited appearance. And ultimately, that's the thing. Even if she wanted to do it, and Baldwin and Rosie wanted it, it's Richard Allen's decision. If he did not consent to this, then she wouldn't be allowed to be there. So that was filed. And the next step then is, well, what did the docket show at this point? So the court, having taken defendant's amended motion to compel and request sanctions under advisement, and reviews the state's response, saying, well, we gave them everything. We tried, Judge. She denies the motion without hearing. Cool. The ex parte from LGW, we just read it. And then once again, the court receives the request for recording proceedings by news media, dated March 12th from Cindy Hebert from WTHR, and denies the same. So other media people have said, can we come in? And she says, nope. Nope, nope, nope. And we are caught up now. That is it. She doesn't want this to be seen, guys. This will not be seen. She will not tolerate us to see that. Yes, they titty fuck each other's ass cheeks like true poets. Yes. Oh, Chugi's like, okay, whatever you say. I'm making fun of Odin, so. Yes. $4,000 for meth, no money for ammunition. Well, meth heads don't always think far ahead. That's why they do meth. This trial's going to be a shit show. Yeah, but we won't get to. So. Jeff, how you doing? Legal Vices, how you doing out there, Jeff? What's it like? What's like noontime out there? It's like day drinking hours out there in Busan, Korea. Jeff holding down the bussy of Busan. Holy Odin in Toledo, yes. Kia Patrick says that's only 300 miles. That's nothing. Every day. J-Rock says, you could fly there. Yes, I could charter a private flight and fly out there every day and fly back. Yeah, just chartering a flight. That sounds great. Not Bruce Rivers. I don't have my own airplane. Oh. Walk for charity. I'd have to start walking right now and maybe I get there in time. They got that monopoly on violence. Yes, they do. They got a monopoly on a lot of things the state has. State has monopoly on everything. J-Rex says, you have no idea I was near Cleveland. I say it every time. Hi. Potentially criminal. Also known as Sean. I'm an attorney in the Cleveland, Ohio area. Yes, I'm like 20 minutes from downtown Cleveland. So. And McKinley, how are you doing? So. I cover the trial, but I have a job. Well, like, tell them you want to go help. Nick for 50 Swedish kroner. Thank you, Nick. Thank you so very much. Hope you know, he rents you up there too, homie. I can't say homie anymore. Essay. If you want Sean to go to trial, you need to ramp up those super chats. I would need every night to be like where Legal Mindset's talking to the VTubers. Just a constant, just like, you know, the super chat bar looks like the Rainbow Road in Mario Kart. Vice says we should call people paupers more often. Yeah, well, we call them indigent now because that's more dignified. You have to call them indigent. That's the dignified way of calling it. They have dignity. Let's see here. Alex says, I hear there's a Georgia cell phone expert, plenty of experience in phone data. Yes. Yes. Yes, guys, Nick is covering the 200-year-long Young Thug RICO trial and has absolutely just caused more and more of a train wreck to occur down there. Did I cover the oopsie arrest warrant? Oh, yeah, and that actually is a little humorous here. There was a Where is it? What day is it? Somebody filed for a motion to have media access, and the judge accidentally put out a warrant for them. And that just, yeah. So, the order issuing a warrant for arrest. The court received a request for recording and would deny the same. Yes. And the order issuing the warrant arrest was made in error. So I don't think they actually, I think it was just labeled an order issuing a warrant for arrest. Like whoever put it in the court system fucked that up. The problem is you can't delete it because you're not allowed to delete the record. So it was just called a warrant for issuing arrest. There actually wasn't an issue out there. So there isn't an actual, there wouldn't have been a capious warrant for this guy. But yes, if you looked it up online, all it takes is somebody to call me and go, bro, they got a warrant out for you. And he's on the run. Be hilarious. He's the guy in the news, the media reporter is like sitting in his office and they're like, there's a warrant. You gotta lamb it, Holmes. And he hits the road. So yes, the warrant was made in error, but that's symbolic of how this judge is running this case and absolutely fucking it up. That is just a microcosm of it. That is just a microcosm of this case. So she made a warrant and then she withdrew the warrant saying, oops, I messed up. So, yeah. Drew says, get the Sean copter. Yeah. Oh. My helicopter would be like the Daka Daka and Blood Diamond. A black hind comes, I'm actually playing K-52 now, just rolling along, just Daka 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 everywhere. These brothers said they would walk 500 miles and then walk 500 more. Yeah, I ain't walking 500 miles, though. Jared Carlin has a great bit about softening language. Yes, he does. That RICO trial is a super shit show. Yes, it is. It's the clerk, not the judge. Yeah, well, I mean, yes, but I'm assuming, I don't know who did it, but I'm assuming it's all just a complete motion mess. It's the incompetency of government, so they're all in on it. They all own it. Well, she's deleted motions off the record before, yes, and I'm pretty sure she got fucking told, don't ever fucking do that again. So I'm sure that there was a thing there. The shithole hotel jury is in for a $49 a night or $10 an hour. Yeah. Yep. If you don't drive, you're getting felted by the judge. That's fine. Frances Gold's felted herself in life, I'm pretty sure, so. Oh, even Hennessy says it was the clerk? Okay, well, I'll take Hennessy's word for it. Just the judge is such a, she's so stupid and such an asshole that it's just radiating off of her and everybody else is catching stupidity and assholishness from that. So, that's what's going on there, I bet. Bella's saying, what's with an emergency evacuation in Michigan? Well, I don't know. Like, Michigan emergency evacuation. Oh, there's like a big industrial fire. Looks like. It looks like. Like nothing bad. Oh. Looks like there was some sort of fire. I don't know, though. Yeah, okay. Hold on. Here's what you guys want to see. Okay. Wait. Yeah, okay, here you go. So, a half-mile radius evacuation because the funny thing is Spring Lake had a big dam break a couple of years ago, I'm pretty sure. Like in Michigan, they had a couple of dams fail. So there was a large explosion. The Mobex Global Fruit Port operation. Okay, so it's been all cleared. So, no big deal. Huh. Looks like it's not a problem. Wait, MLS lives in Michigan. Yes, he does, but nowhere near that. Looks like. Stacy says, D, why do you need a bridge in Oklahoma? A second bridge in Oklahoma has been hit. Yes, a bridge in Oklahoma got hit by a barge. So. Luke says the clerk gave the state ex parte motions before, and I'm sure that was done with the judge's approval. So. All right, guys. Yeah, we're caught up on Richard Allen. I'm sure by Monday morning at 10 a.m., we're going to have been out of step with Richard Allen by about 40 or 50 motions. There's just so much going on there. Sadly, that's just how that goes. I still can't believe that's how this happens in that place. So, what are you going to do? So we are done. We're actually caught up. So what are the plans for tomorrow? Well, at 2:00, I'm going on Sleazy Society at 2 p.m. We're going to be talking about. I'll put the link up probably on Twitter and also on Locals for you guys to see it. I'll try to figure out a way to put it up here in the community chat so you guys can see it. Talking about Diddy and some other things, and then we've got day 2 of George Kelly to get going. After that beautiful opening argument by the state, which was a disaster, and then the defense actually showing that there appears to be a lot of problems in the state's case, which, if anything she says is true, I don't know how there isn't reasonable doubt already. So that will be probably after 2. We'll get started on that. I want to say quicker, but if we start before that, we'll have to stop and break. You know what? Actually, hold on here. You know what we'll do? We'll start George Kelly at noon. I'll go till about 2. We'll stop, and then we'll do part 2 after that. How about that, chat? That's what we're going to do. I don't know who's live right now. I know Flashcast is going. And they've got, I will say this much. I get some of you guys don't like Flashcast, but Mark Grum's, the guy who helped make World of Warcraft, is on. Mark Kearns is great. He goes by Grums here on YouTube and Twitter. He's awesome. I highly recommend listening to him. He's cool to talk to when I was on there. It looks like that's it. Everybody else is kind of offline for right now. So if you guys want to go there, go for it. I know Winning Reality's on right now. And Good Logic's at 1. Yes. Okay. Oh, you know what? It doesn't say that. So here, I'll send you to Joe. If you guys want to go. You guys want to go to Joe. You want the goodest of logic. Not my logic, but you know what? It's close enough. It's almost as good as me. But yes, happy Transgender Day. Apparently, unlike things go, Jesus didn't hang himself. So I guess that's going for Christianity. And you're going to Joe. I just sent you guys all over to Joe. Jeff's getting a raise this month. Yeah, for all the smashing into boats. And yes, guys, we're going to finish up here. But yes, we're going to play the end outro. Hold on one second.
Weapons, blacksmithing, and models of planes. Esoteric works and
So, guys, that is it for tonight. Go enjoy Joe. Tell him Happy Easter. He's a good Christian boy, after all. He will enjoy talking about Jesus being risen again. Remember, guys, Happy Easter to everybody. If you do celebrate Easter, yes, he is risen. That's always... Never anything bad about that news. It's always joyous news. He is risen. Christ is King. So, happy Easter, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow around noon. Take care, everybody. Good night.